So today's movement and posture is going to be some tips on how you can get your yard work and gardening specifically done a little safer, just with a few quick ideas. So on Monday we talked about the raking, because I had to rake on Sunday, and just speaking to people who might be getting gardens ready, who've never had gardens in their yard before, but feeling like we need to grow our own food right now, keep the trips to the grocery store to a minimum, and it's great. However, it does provide a lot of new movement and a lot of muscle activation that might not be used to it right now. A lot of shovels. I was actually going to do this outside, but it's cold, I have to wear a jacket. So shovels, trying to push into the ground. So your biggest friend when you're doing your chores outside is going to be switch it up. Try not to dig holes for a whole hour or two. Try to dig holes for 15, 20 minutes and then go prune a little bit, then go rake a little bit, and then cycle through that way. So just keep changing it up. Kind of have an idea of what you want to get done and just change it. Your body will thank you and you'll be able to go for the long haul if you can just change. So the other thing, two really good things that I want to go through is people often come in and they're really sore with their hamstrings and their low back after they have done some pruning. So my suggestion, I've got a couple besides just changing it up. Try not to, when you've got your shears in your hand, try not to just lock the legs and go over with completely locked and straight legs. If you can see my upper back, it goes into a little bit of flexion and it adds the bend right in your low back. Okay, that's where the flexion, the bottom of the spine, before it gets into your hips. So if you're doing this, my fingers are loose and limp and I can't effectively use any power in order to cut like I might need to. So just from the beginning, but what happens is we try to move and do things quickly, and that's where the poor movement pattern comes in from. So starting with your hip hinge, and I don't mean to attach a workout onto this, but the movement patterns really are very similar. Start pushing your feet into the ground. Your hips will hinge back and look at your knees. My knees softly bend, and then you can keep your flat back and actually use some power in order to make the cuts and the pruning like you might need to. The other thing is kneeling. Do it in a kneeling lunge position and go here if you can. You're just trying to keep that integrity of your spine and using the power of your hips in order to keep the power where you need it. The other thing is, if you don't want to go all the way to the ground, go in a short stride lunge. Anyone who takes strength training together, you know what this is. Short stride lunge, and again, just change. Change positions, change sides, just keep changing. Here's my other tip that I tell people all the time. A lot of times when you start cutting and raking and shoveling, your forearms begin to hurt right off the bat. Around the asparagus and the broccoli right now are rubber bands that I save, and I love them. And I put them on the tips of my fingers, if you can see that, and I open and close, open and close. And these forearm flexors react when you open your fingers. Now you've got tension on your fingers, so they're little workouts for your forearm flexors. And then just change to the other side, and then open and close, open and close. And your whole body, seems silly, right? Your whole body has to react. You're all of a sudden kneeling or standing up straighter. I'm kneeling so I can see in front of the camera, and down. And hold it for longer. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, do some shoulder rotations at the same time. And remember, when you are working on your back, just drive the shoulder blades down, not back this way, but down in order to create more stabilizing power to engage your core and use your core along with everything else. Use your legs when you're raking, you're shoveling, put everything together. Try not to divide your body between the top and the bottom. So if you're shoveling, try not to just roll and bend. Not a whole lot of power in that. However, if you really get down and stabilize your glutes and your hamstrings, you're going to notice a lot more power when you're trying to get that shovel through the dirt. Good luck, have fun, and enjoy the rest of the vacation. Your gardening setters are ready for you, whether you're planting vegetables or flowers.